And now we have our last panel here. It's our sponsored panel by Nexo. From DEX to partnerships, the Web3 VC journey to strategic investing. I'd like to invite our moderator, Dani Osorio. Thank you, Dani. And we have Kalin Metodiev and Tatiana Metodieva. Take it away, Dani. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, so welcome to today. Thank you for sticking around. I know it's been a long haul for all of you. I hear there's some really fun parties later tonight, so get ready. Lots of happy hours. Austin is happening even at 107-degree weather. So today we're going to talk about from DEX to partnerships and really talk about the institutional journey of investing in crypto. So this is a session with Nexo, who is one of the world's leading regulated digital assets institutions. And today I have with me the team from Nexo Prime and Nexo Ventures. So we have here Kalin, who is the co-founder and managing partner of the digital assets institution at Nexo, and Tatiana, who is Nexo's head of the global VC group. So really excited to get started. But Tatiana, let's start with you. Can you tell us a little bit about how you feel that VC investments in the Web3 space differ from those in the traditional Web2 space?
Well, in general, our investment approach is very strategic in nature. Nexo Ventures differentiates from most of the VCs in this space from its strategic approach. So Nexo is the largest retail-oriented lender in the digital asset space and as such has a 360-degree product suite, something meaningful, valuable for every startup. Our investment approach is flexible and very broad in nature as we have a very broad product offering for both the retail segment and also for the institutional segment as well. Therefore, we invest broadly in the DeFi space, although we are a CeFi lender, but we clearly acknowledge how important for the community is to support this strategic branch that developed. Web3 in general, infrastructure, which is really important so that the whole ecosystem can grow further. Metaverse, NFTs, gamings.
Okay, that's really wonderful. I actually was going to ask you what areas you're supporting. So is that like DeFi, Metaverse, gaming?
Yes, these are the areas actually that we invest into, but blockchain infrastructure like trading, payments, custody, these are also of potential interest to ours.
Okay, really cool. And what are some of your favorite investments that you've made recently?
Oh,
I know it's like asking you to pick a
an
favorite child,
question.
But
yes.
We don't want to offend anybody.
I don't want to offend anybody, but yeah, we have over 60 investments now, which we managed to complete within a relatively short period of time between September last year. And now we have invested in both private token sales and equity rounds in early stage companies, seed, Series A predominantly. And of course, I won't mention any names here, but we really want to bring the strategic value to each one of our partner companies.
That's wonderful. So let's talk more about that, actually. So a lot of VCs in the space, sometimes they just contribute money. And then there's another set of VCs that contribute capital, but also a lot of value with like synergistic partnerships. They're called strategic investments. So can you tell us a little bit of what that looks like?
Strategic support, in our view, is what builds bridges in the community because it elevates the entrepreneurs further, and we are all builders, ultimately builders of the Web3 ecosystem. So we also partner with the largest VCs in the space. We are natural partners and could contribute value to their portfolio companies in various manners. So, for example, as we are crypto native and coming from inside of the blockchain industry, we could contribute wide fintech expertise, marketing support to these young entrepreneurs who have just started their journey. And with our global customer base, just marketing in front of more than 5 million customers is sometimes even like this hype that we can develop around the project is very valuable for them, so that they become known to the wider space. But for example, for DeFi protocols, we become one of the largest liquidity providers. Every company has their specific needs that we would like to assess. We want to hear what they are truly looking for and how we could support them strategically.
Wonderful, thank you. So, Kalin, let's jump over to you. So you're doing something really interesting, which is you're actually looking to establish institutional investing and wealth management practices in a really new industry. So can you tell us a little bit about what that looks like and how it's different from the way it's been traditionally done?
I think that our efforts in those directions are just a natural continuation of the building and expansion of our business model. As Tatiana pointed out, we started in 2018 as the, on the lending side, pure retail orientation, and became, the largest fully automated retail oriented lender. Based on this capability, we expanded, through, the addition of building up our wallet, adding a current yield slash savings product. Along the way, a lot of our users started asking for additional capabilities, especially in those areas where deficiencies traditionally existed in the ecosystem. And unfortunately, one of them is trading. With again the exposure to let's say individual exchanges trading, limited order placement capabilities. There's all the algos and bots trading against you. ARP traders going against you. So there's multiple things. Also the pricing of margin, for example. And we decided we would also sort of change the the game. And we will allow our traders to trade in an environment where a lot of these deficiencies are rectified. They can use margin at a transparent fixed rate and actually build markets sustainably over an extended period of time. So, when it comes to building a trading environment and infrastructure, this is mainly what our institutions clients want, so that they can trade reliably. Then the wealth management is, I would say, the current step, the current phase that we're going through. It's not so much targeted towards institutions as it is there for the purposes of high net worth individuals, small corporate players, that would like to continue taking advantage of the current yield products that we offer to them, but at the same time, to expand into structured products, have access to a number of, cryptocurrency trading opportunities. Some of these clients, unfortunately, don't have the ability to hold and custody these assets themselves, but they want the exposure to the ecosystem, and this is what we do for them. So, make sure that all of these capabilities, the storing of assets, the transfers, the borrow, earn, and trading capabilities, all under one roof, are available to them for trading and wealth management purposes.
All right, super interesting. So in this kind of scenario, if you are talking about this institutional type of trading, then you are trading on behalf of your clients. Is that what it looks like? You're making the decisions for them and then making the moves, or are they guiding your strategy based on like their preferences and risk tolerances?
Yes and no. We have a very wide diversified base of clients, each of which have their own trading or wealth management preferences and capabilities. So, early on we were we were just executing transactions on behalf of our clients, whether it is, through our automated capabilities and interconnectivity on a number of exchanges, or whether it's, by tapping into OTC liquidity pools. But over time, we have found out that at least a number of institutions out there prefer to do their own thing. Mm-hmm. And naturally, many of them are also protective of their trading strategies. So they prefer to execute on their own and make sure that, again, they preserve their secret sauce. And we worked and, of course, continue working hard on developing these capabilities that, whether through direct just logging on our platform or through API connectivity, they have the ability to execute in a protected environment, so that they can execute their strategy sustainably at with the best cost efficiency of execution.
So you're offering a lot of flexibility for people.
Correct.
Correct. That's really great. All right, that's an Amber Alert from everyone. So going back into the earlier questions, I was wondering, Tatiana, if you could tell us a little bit about how you work with other VC firms and how do you collaborate with other partners who are also investing in the early blockchain space?
Thank you for this question, because we really consider ourselves partners in this space with the other VC players. We are a strategic investor, but we partner very well with the largest VCs in the space, sharing deal flow with them, exchanging ideas, also working with their portfolio companies, and we truly believe that it's a win-win situation in this case, because through partnership with Nexo, we elevate their portfolio companies as well, boost their revenues, and bring new offerings to the table.
That's great. And what is your investment thesis with which you choose the startups that you invest in?
Well, we truly believe in innovation, and innovation is truly rooted in Nexo's culture and Nexo's general approach. So we are really looking for those entrepreneurs who will push the crypto revolution forward, and we try to lend them a hand to help the innovation spark alive.
That's great. So going back to how Nexo Ventures and Nexo Prime work in synergy, like, do they work in synergy? Are there two distinct offerings? I would love to understand, how some of the strategic partners that you have in your VC side engage with the other side of Nexo on the institutional side.
Well, of course there are synergies. This is the whole point of developing these capabilities and building up teams and solutions to create them. Essentially, we are quite humble, and we readily admit that this huge demand that is coming from the community on all levels, whether it's retail, corporate, or institutional, requires very quick provision of solutions. And despite the fact that our team continues to grow at what feels to us like an exponential rate, I believe we were 150 people sometime last year. We're over 550, already, and we're on target to become 1,000 by the end of this year. We recognize that still a lot of knowledge and capabilities comes from the community, and if we obviously cannot employ everybody, we always look for partnerships and synergies that we can source. So all the qualified, capable people with amazing ideas are always welcome to reach out to us, and all kinds of collaborations and partnerships are deeply embedded in our strategy. So I would say the main reason why we set up the VC fund, and the reason why it continues to be just a prop fund for the moment and not open for external interest, is because it is there at the moment to mainly serve our strategic interest, to make sure that we either invest in companies, invest in capable teams, or go through acquisitions that can complement very quickly the solutions we have. So again, whether it's the retail platform that offers, let's say, borrowing and lending on a fully automated basis, whether it is adding bells and whistles to the prime brokerage platform, again, we're saying that we don't want to be overconfident and try to do it on our own. Synthetic growth is something that we welcome, and we'll be happy to speak with everybody about how we can achieve it together.
Wonderful. And which services from Nexo's wealth management suite do you find that your institutional investors have the most need for in the current conditions? And which services do you think that are still underdeveloped and have, a high potential to have demand in the future?
The wealth management services that we're in late stage of preparation for deploying is they're mainly targeted at high net worth individuals and small corporates. The institutional clients that we work with have, quite a high degree of sophistication, and as I said, sense of confidentiality about their models, which we fully appreciate. And of course, we're non-intrusive. We would like to offer all the trading capabilities, the margin, the access to spot and derivative markets all under our one roof. But we recognize that a number of, as I said, mainly individuals out there, that have wealth, derived from many different sources, from the traditional capital markets, from real estate, from other industries, and are interested in dabbling, into our space, need help. And there's various reasons. We see it on a daily basis. It's not just the volatility. It's not just, the attempt, to make sense of, how this market dynamic changes and, why, there's obviously, times when, Bitcoins, goes up like crazy and we're just sort of like sitting in our seats, not believing, how it's, going up, I don't know, 5% a day. And then there's another times, when it just drops like a rock, So many of them are trying to make sense of it and, they come to us for advice. So it's not just the execution, but it's the advice itself. And this is where wealth management comes in, the discretionary wealth management that we're in the process of deploying.
Great. And Tatiana, do you find that you have geographic regions that you're covering, or are you a global fund?
We are a global company, and therefore we have a global coverage of our interest, of our investment interest as well. So we have invested in projects in the US, in Asia, in Latam, recently in Africa, and we are very open to discussing ideas with entrepreneurs who would like to discuss together with us and grow together with us.
Wonderful. And for my last question, since we only have a few minutes left, I actually wanted to get your hot takes on what you think is the future of this ecosystem and anything that you think is exciting in the investment space, specifically to you. I'll start with you, Tatiana, in the VC space.
I think that every 3-4 months there is something new, something very hyped.
That's true.
That appears on the stage, and now it might be the metaverse, but Web3 in general is a very, very broad topic. So I'm really curious and looking forward what is next on the stage so that we can grow it together.
Wonderful. And now, Kalin, for you, for the institutional investment side, what are your hot takes? What should people look to?
Well, I mean, we are very down to earth at Nexo, and we never pretend, to know. We don't have the crystal ball, we don't know where the market is going to be 6 or 12 months from now. Of course, all the signs, point to, this market, being, facing greater adoption and growing over the long term. But these short-term gyrations and volatility, it's really impossible to predict. Our take is that we are past the conversation whether blockchain, Bitcoin, Ethereum, will make it. It's really no longer a 0 or 1, type of conversation. We definitely believe that the future is here. We definitely believe that a lot of innovation will continue coming out from this space, and it will become part of Main Street, as another asset class. So our approach is that we want to provide solutions that are there in traditional capital markets, but just adapted for the digital asset space. So, again, whether it's, any aspect of financial services, whether it's the trading, the borrowing, the earning, then there's, of course, some additional offshoots like, wealth management, there's obviously insurtech, things like that, that will definitely be there. Our role is just to adapt, what is already existing, what people are used to utilizing in their everyday lives, make it better, of course, optimize it, make it more user-friendly, and just help the ecosystem grow.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.